You know, every single day, you're moving through a city that's being run by this invisible layer of information. It's secret data, really. It's what's deciding when your traffic lights change, where your water's coming from, and maybe most importantly, whether that bridge you're driving over is actually safe. But what happens when that secret data starts to fail?
We've all seen the headlines, right? A huge water main breaks and floods a whole street, or a bridge just gets shut down for emergency repairs out of nowhere. You gotta wonder, why does this stuff happen? It feels so random, but a lot of the time, the real reason is hiding in plain sight.
The real problem is often something much deeper. It's because the city's memory is broken. It's kind of forgotten crucial details about itself. Like the age of a pipe, the real condition of a road, or the last time a critical piece of equipment was even looked at.
So let's really dig into this idea of a city's failing memory, because the stakes here are incredibly high.
Take a look at this number, $25.3 billion. That is the total replacement cost for all the public stuff, the assets, in just one regional area, York Region up in Canada. We're talking roads, pipes, buildings, the whole shebang. And almost every city is managing a portfolio on this kind of massive scale.
And this quote right here really hits the nail on the head. See, cities can have all the fancy software and all the plans they want, but if the information they're feeding into those systems is garbage, well, the results are going to be garbage too. The memory isn't failing because they don't have the tools. It's failing because they don't have good, solid information to make decisions with.
So what even is this memory? What is this asset data we're talking about? Let's break it down into something a little more simple. Okay, so at its core, asset data is basically the city's official biography for every single thing it owns that helps us out. It's the who, what, where, when, and why for literally everything, from a fire hydrant on the corner to a city bus. To make this super simple, just think about a park bench, a single park bench. To manage it properly, the city needs to know its inventory. What kind of bench is it, and when did we put it here? Its location. Where is it, exactly? Its condition. Is it safe? Does it need a new coat of paint? Its work history. When was the last time somebody fixed it? And finally, its service level. What purpose does it serve for the community? Now, just imagine trying to track all that for millions of different things.
Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. For most cities, there are huge critical gaps in that memory.
A survey of 71 different municipalities found some absolutely staggering gaps. Get this, 62%. 62% don't collect data on why something failed. I mean, think about that. How can you learn from your mistakes if you don't even track what they were? And another 62% don't track if their assets are even meeting the standards they're supposed to. This is the exact information you need to predict problems before they happen, and for most cities, it's just missing. So, how in the world do we fix a city's broken memory? Well, it's not a single magic bullet. It actually takes three really big fundamental shifts in how cities think and how they operate. The first one is a shift in governance. We have to move away from this world where every single department has its own separate, siloed spreadsheet. The goal is to create a single, shared, golden record, one source of truth for every single asset. And just as important, you need what's called explicit stewardship, which is a fancy way of saying somebody's actually responsible for making sure that data stays accurate. The second shift is all about technology. For decades, asset data might get updated, once a year, manually? The goal now is to have real-time, event-driven updates. So when a crew goes out and repairs a water pipe, that information should update the master record instantly, not 6 months from now in a dusty binder. And finally, there's a strategy shift. This is all about thinking differently when you're buying stuff. Instead of a city just buying a piece of software, they need to focus on buying data capabilities. What that really means is making sure their data isn't locked into one company's system, that it's open and that it can be used by the entire organization.
Okay, so those three shifts, that's the goal. But how does a city actually get from here to there? Well, there's a pretty pragmatic roadmap for it.
It's really a four-step journey. First, you have to stabilize. Get everyone to agree on what the data means and who's in charge. Second, remediate. That's the big cleanup job of fixing all the messy data you already have. Third, you integrate. Connect all the core systems, like your digital maps, work orders, finance, so they're all talking to each other. And only then, once you have that solid foundation, can a city scale up and start using the really cool advanced tools like IoT sensors and predictive models.
And you can actually see this journey in clear stages. So a lot of cities start at this initial level where decisions are basically based on gut feelings and experience because the data is so bad. Then they can move to a defined state where they can manage risk a lot better. But the ultimate goal is optimizing, where your data is so good you can use predictive models to cut costs and, prevent failures before they even happen.
So what's the ultimate endgame here? What's the big prize? It's a really cool concept called a digital twin. Imagine a living, breathing digital copy of the entire city. It combines all of the structured data with real-time info from sensors. Cities like Helsinki are already building this, and it lets them simulate the future, plan for things like climate change, and test out new policies before they ever spend a dime. It's the city's memory, fully restored and actually looking ahead.
Now, I know this all sounds very high-level and technical, but the payoff from all this is incredibly personal. It actually affects your daily life in a big way.
See, when a city fixes its memory, you get safer infrastructure. Potholes get fixed way faster because the city knows exactly where they are and how bad they are. Your tax dollars are spent more smartly, on preventing problems instead of just reacting to them all the time. And at the end of the day, you get a lot more transparency and accountability from your local government. Which really leaves us with a final question to think about for our own communities. What does your city truly know about itself? And maybe more importantly, what are the crucial details that it's missing?